What's going on, guys? Welcome back to 100% Chelsea and welcome to your uncensored, untamed match build-up show. The first of many, hopefully. We'll see what happens. But, guys, in the studio, I am joined by Mr. Scott Page and Mr. Dominic Rosso. Gentlemen, how are we doing?
Good afternoon.
Oh, I'm looking down the lens because that broad's doing shit. Sorry, go on, carry on. How are you, gents? You good?
Yeah, all right.
Did you like the pictures I put of you on
Mine's
Twitter?
terrible.
Yeah,
Mine
you
is
look like a serial killer. I mean, the Ted Bundy hype was last week, mate. Come on, we should get into this. But look, see,
flattering, I think, is the way.
Yeah, you, mate. Yours was it you compared yourself to that monster from Scooby Doo? He's going, yeah. But look, so let's get straight into it. Chelsea versus Manchester United, 5th round of the FA Cup.
Big game.
Massive game.
Huge game.
In many different ways than one.
Go on, what are your thoughts?
We're going to get piped, personally. That's how I feel.
I don't want to say we're going to get piped, but I'm going to say we're going to get piped, just so if we don't get piped, it looks good for us. Set your standards low. You know all about that. Set them low, and then you can kind of like aim high when it gets better.
You know what? It's going to be a tough game, but the bit of hope I'm taking into it is that in the last 2 campaigns, we've knocked them out of the FA Cup. In both of the last 2 campaigns. In the final, we beat them. The year before, we beat them 1-0 at Stamford Bridge.
With N'Golo Kante. God, that was the little chop. And then,
Delicious.
It was literally the same as what he did in the league game as well. But, look, Scott, how are you feeling other than getting piped? Obviously, he's more confident.
I want to have some confidence. I'm just not because of... So, like, if the Malmo game, I understand we won it, but if the Malmo game had been a bit more conclusive, I'd have felt a bit different, but it still showed signs of weakness, and that was against Malmo, no offence to them. A United team, even with a slightly weaker United team, with the changes they might make, still poses a problem.
I think the biggest thing with that Malmo thing, because I want to touch on that, me and you were remarkably negative, there's no doubt about it, but to look at the positives, you know, we've got 2 away goals, we're looking good, we're in decent shape going into the home leg, but with that as well, there are other negatives that come out the back of it, which is Gary Cahill, who's come out and basically said he's been snubbed by Maurizio Sarri. Obviously, David Luiz played back-to-back after the City defeat as well. Why?
The Cahill situation is an interesting one. I don't think we should read too much into the Malmo game in terms of how it's going to allow us to move on. With no disrespect to Malmo, the calibre of Chelsea should be beating them. Yeah. I think, in my personal opinion, we should have beaten them by more than by more than a single goal.
Well, we should have done.
That's what I said. If it had been more conclusive, like a 3-0 win, then I'd feel a lot more better about this game coming up.
Well, I thought 2-0 was a pretty sustainable result. Yeah. I thought 2-0 was something which I was looking at going, you know what, that's half decent. I'll take that into the next leg.
Okay.
But then we brought on Kante and Hazard, which is another thing which we need to talk about. But I mean, with the Gary Cahill thing, we'll keep talking about it. For those of you who don't know, Gary Cahill has basically been completely snubbed by Sarri as the club captain. He's not been spoken to. I personally don't know how to feel about it. I think it's a travesty. Personally, I don't think it's smart at all.
I think it's disrespectful this to happen to any club, wherever it is. Whether it's because we've seen it before with Guardiola, with Deco, Yaya Toure, Zlatan, Van Gaal, with Rivaldo, and Luca Toni. But the problem with them is they've got the accomplishment to then mask that for people to kind of accept it. People didn't, at least not for Van Gaal, but they've got that to mask that. Sorry, hasn't. So it's then stuff like this becomes a bit highlighted. But yeah, I think wherever it's happening, it's especially if it's a player that high up in the club,
I think it shows a level of disrespect. Cahill, as Chelsea fans will always remind everybody else, he has won it all at this club. And I think that shows a different level of style in terms of manager. Antonio Conte came in. John Terry wasn't in his plans. However, he sat him down man to man and said, look, you've been a fantastic servant to this club. You're not in my first choice squad. However, you will be playing in the cup games. You will be a major part of the dressing room. And I'm really surprised that Sarri has come in and not done something similar. Because we talk about a lack of soul, a lack of heart in that dressing room. And Cahill, for me, would be crucial to that. There have been reports that he's just completely blanked him. He hasn't spoken to him at all. I don't know how true that can really be, but I'm really surprised that something along those lines has actually been suggested.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've got a comment here from Samarex Echo, which said, Sarri shouldn't be blamed for this. It's just a player. as you can see, he's done a wonderful job at Naples, and we can't say it's a fluke because Napoli were dominant for 3 seasons and don't have a world-class player.
I'd debate that.
I'd seriously debate that.
I'd say they were only good for 1 year, which was last year.
Yeah.
To say they don't have a world-class player again, I'd say is a bit... If you look, they had Hamsik, Mertens, I'd say is up there.
Well, Hamsik was the Gary Cahill. Hamsik is Napoli's all-time leading goal scorer and all-time leading appearance maker. You know, he was. I wouldn't say, obviously, Gary Cahill's not an all-time leading goal scorer and all-time leading appearance maker, but he is the senior player in that dressing room, someone who's, as Dom has said, and as every Chelsea fan would like to remind everybody, Gary Cahill has won absolutely everything there is to win. But to be fair, so is Wes Brown at Man United. But you know, we'll move on.
He's won more Champions Leagues than Gerrard.
Exactly. But I think
more Premier League titles than
I mean, that's not hard to win more Premier League titles than Gerrard. Fucking
Ross Turnbull's won.
Isa Del Horno did, and so did Matthias Kesman. But I think it's kind of a case of, you know, I think he didn't alienate people at Napoli really, and he was kind of a beacon of what Neapolitans were after as a footballing presence, and he's still a Napoli fan, and he always will be. He's made it clear at press conferences, Forza Napoli sempre, we're all Naples together, you know, stuff like that. But it's kind of a case of the alienation of Gary Cahill, I think, is another reason why there is such a cloud over his head at the minute. People can say there's not, as much as I mean, we're all, well, I'm sorry, I'm tipping, I don't know how to feel about it. I don't know.
Well and easily.
Yep. You are tipping towards out. You are out now. That's it. Why?
Come on.
It's not, as I said, it's not down to the results as such, because for me, the Bournemouth result was a freak result. And the City game, that was a whole team performance that was terrible, from Sarri to the players. Everyone was dreadful. It's more, as I said, I think I said on the video yesterday, that it's down to the fact that I want us to build, but with Sarri, I can't see us going. I can see us building to something, but I can't see us making that next step we need to make. And I don't understand putting, say we put 3 years into him, then we go to someone else. We're going to have to find a very specific style of manager that may or may not be around to build on that. And that's my only worry, is that if we build something with Sarri and then in 3 years we say, okay, thank you very much for this, and we go and look at someone else, we have to then get someone else in.
But that's what we've been doing with all these times. Managers have not managed to pull the football out that Chelsea have required. I think it's time, and I think it's really unfair to get rid of a manager. He's working with a squad that he worked with before the season started for 2 weeks. He was brought in just 2 weeks before the Community Shield, with a squad which only consists of Jorginho and Gonzalo Higuain, which he brought in. Kepa, fine, was a forced transfer.
I say all of those.
I think he's overachieving for what can be expected. And I'll tell you the reason why. Fine, the league performances have been drab. If we get top 4, I think it's a success. Carabao Cup, we're in the final. Europa League, we're going to make it to the next round, hopefully, touch wood. FA Cup, we're still fighting on all 4 fronts. The only other team who can say they're doing that is Manchester City. And I think if you actually look at the track record, you can't base a manager's season off of a manager's career off of their first season. You need to give them time. You need to give them a little bit of length. Come on.
Yeah. No, I see it coming from, but you're talking about track records and not judge a manager on their first season. Conte, Mourinho, 2 examples of managers that have done in their first season. Louis van Gaal obviously did it with Barcelona and at
Mourinho
Ajax.
didn't do it in his first season at Chelsea.
He won the fucking league.
Sorry, are we talking first or second time?
The first time.
Fine, okay. but then he had the pace to go into it. He had the squad to just throw money at it. He had the resources to throw money at it.
To be honest, Claudio Ranieri is someone who should be credited for that first league win, because a lot of the players that were in that team.
That's an anomaly.
It
really is.
But I mean, there's so much to talk about. But see, now we're talking about the squad.
Yeah.
Aberrol, could you capture this for us, please? Thank you. We going? Awesome. Right, so Callum Hudson-Odoi. Gianfranco Zola's come out in his pre-match press conference. Obviously, he does it for the cup game, so sorry. Obviously, Lawrence talks in depth about it as well. If you watch the preview, which we have, and it's a very good preview. He's got mics and stuff and everything now.
Oh, good.
Mics and a camera, so it's Stuff's going up in the world now, ladies and gents. Yeah. We're really going for it now. But look, Gianfranco Zola has come out and said that he feels that Callum Hudson-Odoi is getting the game time he deserves at Chelsea.
Yeah.
I think it's fair to say that all three of us in this room massively disagree.
Go on, you stop.
I was going to say I'd understand that comment if the two ahead of him were playing out their skin, but they're not. That's my problem with the comments he made, because he said that Willian and Pedro were playing well and they're not. I understand they both got assists against Malmo, but for me, as I mentioned yesterday, Williams was very lucky. It was down to Giroud more than anything, and they're both just too inconsistent.
I'd like to bring us to a news article. It wasn't even a news article, it was a transcript from Sarri's press conference before the game against Spurs, the first leg of the Carabao Cup semi-final.
This was just when the window closed, wasn't it?
No, it
after?
It was at the beginning of the window.
Oh, okay.
7th of Jan. Now, Sarri indicated he'd have no concerns about giving the youngster regarding Hudson-Odoi another opportunity against strong opposition. Now, Sarri's exact words were, "I think he's ready. Of course, we have important players in the same position, so you want Pedro or Willian on the bench. I can play 2 wingers, 3 is difficult, but he is now ready." If he is now ready, and if he puts in a very good performance against Spurs, I can understand him not starting every single game. However, what is the point of keeping him at a club and you're not even going to include him in the matchday squad? He travelled to
City.
He travelled to Bournemouth, not even included on the substitutes. I can understand that there was this hoo-ha regarding his transfer request, which I find difficult to understand. I find difficult to understand. But if he is ready, what is the point of keeping him at the club? What is it?
I agree. I think that Callum Hudson-Odoi, if he's saying he's ready, and from what we see as well, Gianfranco Zola said, I feel that the fans, I get why they're upset, but, there's other players ahead of him, blah, blah, blah. Yep. Scott's already point, they're not playing out their skin. I'm sorry, but the biggest thing I want to talk about is Malmo, because I'm sorry, that did my nutting. Him and Ampadu. Ampadu didn't even make the squad, and he travelled. Like, what's the point? These guys, he only got 6 minutes, Callum Hudson-Odoi, and out there saying, like you said from the transcript, if he is ready, why is he not playing? Obviously, we want to get your comments on this, guys. If you send super chats, we'll read those first. We're going to do like a super chat segment and stuff, because we do love super chats. They're usually quite funny, and we do enjoy them as well if they're decent talking points. But Scott, the Callum Hudson-Odoi situation right now, this cup tie against Manchester United, as big as it and important as it is, should we be playing him? Should he be starting? And even outside of the cup tie, should he be starting in the Premier League?
Absolutely. As I said, as Dom said, I don't think he should be starting every game. There's certain games you should mix about, because he is young, and you can have that problem like Ruben Loftus-Cheek has got at the minute, where injuries do happen. Yeah. However, for certain games like Malmo, like this cup game for me, like games against Bournemouth, or at least I'd say lower half opposition in the league to an extent, he should be playing.
I think the decision not to start him against Malmo, because he came on the bench and
it was 84 minutes.
84 minutes. I think that to not start him against Malmo, unforgivable from Sarri. And if you're not going to bother playing him against that sort of team, what is the point of keeping him?
Is this a Chelsea issue though? Because obviously we've seen in the past there's been youth products left, right, and centre that have not been used. Gael Coote is the one I always like to bring up, because we've got a transfer ban for him. He never played. Or if he did, it was barely anything to be involved or worthy of note.
Yeah.
The club's in for a restructure. We've made this point on several occasions on this channel. We like to say that the club needs to restructure. There needs to be a change, and we can blame Sarri we want. He is the man who picks a team. He is the head coach. He is the one who spends his day looking at Callum Hudson-Odoi, and I think that's where we need to look to him for that if he's part of the first team squad. The 35 million offer from Bayern Munich, insane not to accept it if you're not going to play him. If you need the depth, do what Chelsea do, just go buy another player if that's how it's going to be, because it's doing my nutting, because we want to see his kid come through. But as Lawrence said in his preview, foremost we are Chelsea fans. We are not Callum Hudson-Odoi fans. But what is best for the club?
Chelsea fans, we want Callum Hudson-Odoi.
Yeah, obviously.
We want the best players, or we want who's playing the best to be playing for the club, in matchday squads.
And he plays out of his skin, and I think the same goes for Ruben Loftus-Cheek as well. Christensen, I know you're not a big fan of, and that's another youth product. Chelsea are starting to implement youth, which is good. you need to see that implementation hit the next stage. I think Jada Silva's another player we've seen that's playing really well. He is a Sarri-esque player from what I've seen personally. The way he can manipulate the ball, the way he moves, the speed, the pace. He is the person who I'd look at for left back next season. Instead of going and buying Goulam or someone who Sarri's worked with, I would force him to do that. That's one thing where I'm sitting there going, look, this is what we need to do. This is where we need to change. This is a project, and whether or not Sarri is the right fit, it is square pegs and round hole if you feel that, or if it's a round hole and a round hole where you're trying to build something and switch it, it is going to take time. We agree with that. But right here, right now, Callum Hudson-Odoi needs to be playing. And I think we can all agree on that.
100%.
100%. But I mean, if we get some comments on this as well. Alan Ishmael 04 says, Sarri must use Callum Hudson-Odoi because Hudson-Odoi more because it's a disgrace that he's only getting 6 minutes against fucking Malmo. That is verbatim. Please don't demonetise us, YouTube. The kid is the future of our club and he is bullying him.
There's a super chat without any text. Weird.
Oh, brilliant.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Oh, Rishin Patel, thank you very much, mate.
Just ask him to ask something.
Yeah, ask something, Rishin. Let us know your thoughts down below as well.
Yeah.
Bullying. Bullying?
But sorry, say that again.
It depends. If the reports of the punishment thing are true, which I don't know, but I'm unsure of, then I can see that being the case. But if they're not true, I can't really see that being the case.
Yeah, no,
it's an odd one.
I agree. I think bullying is a strong term.
What, the bullying of
Sarri's bullying Callum Hudson-Odoi.
I don't think there's any evidence to support that.
Yeah, I say another reason I say it's odd is because I don't remember hearing about any of this at Napoli, as far as I was aware. So this would be the first time.
I think the only... Yeah, I can't see Sarri particularly doing that myself. I think the reports of these team meetings coming out over the last few days, I think they're positive because they're actually showing that the team are really concerned about this, and we saw Rudiger, he was right in front of us against City. They know that something's not quite right. There are reports that David Luiz has said that they're happy to play Sarri's style of football, which I think is encouraging. And I just think it will come. My biggest concern is how we didn't lose a game until the 24th of November.
Yeah, we agree. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll move on from Callum Hudson-Odoi and that. We'll talk sorts of stuff out. Thank you very much, Abro. Thank you. People that are sending super chats, we love the support. Thank you very much for those. We really would like those. We'd like to, because we'll discuss the topics for longer, for in depth as well. And you know, all the super chats obviously help the channel out a lot because it helps us obviously be able to. I mean, this set is great. Don't get me wrong. Like, we love UFF for letting us use it. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen at UFF. Shout out you guys. Obviously, make sure you check out Blood Brothers and all that stuff. That one, I'm looking at this one. Yeah, brilliant. Make sure you check out Blood Brothers, UFF app, all that stuff. You get to see me on there as well. This beautiful mug. And FanPark Live, obviously, which is where we are, which is sick. But you know, it's a case of we'd like to be able to get our own set one day. That would be nice. So every little bit of super chat will help us out with that. But we got obviously one from Rishin. He sent his question here, and he says, "Hey guys, love the content, but my question to you is, what the hell is going on with Marcos Alonso and David Luiz? What are they still doing in the team, and why are Emerson and Andreas Christensen? Why not start them against Manchester United?"
David Luiz is, I think, the easier one to answer. He's the ball-playing centre-back. He's the type of player Sarri likes. If you look at Napoli, that was Koulibaly. He's Rudiger and Luiz rolled into one. He had the best pass accuracy of any Napoli player last season. So you can see that's the role he was given. He's in that Luiz role, and that's why he's in the team. Alonso's the more... I don't know. Maybe it's his height. We heard that, but I don't know if that's still the case.
I think Marcos Alonso really needs to look at himself, though. The reports that Sarri and him had a little bit of a hoo-ha. Yeah,
didn't happen.
But even the suggestion that it did happen, I think, is worrying. I think us as Chelsea fans are starting to get really frustrated with his work. How he operates on the pitch. He looks lazy. A lot of his passes are just all over the place. We saw against City, he really was shocking.
Well, there was that picture when Sterling scored the goal of all the players just looking at Alonso going, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I think the one thing for me, I watched it back, God forbid.
I couldn't bring myself to.
Yeah, I watched the first goal, I didn't watch anything else.
When Marcos Alonso comes in from the left back position to play in at centre half when he's marking someone, I understand there's the depth thing where you kind of have to.
You all move across, but
no
one else moved.
It wasn't even the moving across. He just went in because I think he was trying to mark someone out because he knows he get done for pace. But there's trying to get someone marked out, and there's going from, if I'll use this quickly, there's being at left back when you're picking this person up here, who's trying to keep them, stop them then get into the byline, which is what you should be doing. Yeah. But instead he came over here, let them get to the byline, turn round. Obviously they're miles away from him and he can't mark them, so they just put the ball across. It's ridiculous. I don't know. There you go. That's the limits of my footballing prowess knowledge, guys. That's really what I do. But genuinely, I just don't understand the nature of the beast. It just doesn't make any sense why he's still playing.
Would you be playing Emerson instead?
To be honest, I think he's the lesser of two evils.
Yeah.
Emerson's good. He's all
so
right.
He's decent. He can put in a decent performance most weeks. He's not that world beater though, but it's better than the dross we see from Alonso every week,
which has been shocking in the last few games.
It's been, even on days when we do well, it's still average at best most of the time.
I agree.
Yeah, I think the I just think hold on. I'm still reading comments. I think it's just a case of Emerson is decent. I'm not going to sit here and go, oh yeah, he's the man we need. He's the man we could use right now. But like Scott said, he's really not a world beater. He's not this amazing.
He's not going to take Chelsea to the next step.
No, and listen, I don't think Jada Silva will either. But I think
it's
again,
a good
he's someone.
Starting step.
Yeah, and it's another step with players. Yeah. Lower the mic, Scott. God. Thank you, Neil Patel, for pointing that out. Big up, Neil. We love, it's a rapping yogi on Twitter. That's Neil. I love reading his tweets. He's really nice to speak to him sometimes. But look, I think that I don't even know what we're laughing at because I'm like, I see his face and he pulls that face. You can't not laugh with Dom. But I think Jada Silva's a player which would definitely help us with
I think
taking those steps with youth, but I don't even know if he's going to be the man.
I think it's the amount of Deadwood in that side at the moment, mate. It really is. There's so many players. Willian.
Save it.
I'll say that.
Abro, can you capture this, please? Thank you very much. Okay, here we go. Cool. So, the Deadwood in this team. You've raised it already, Dom. Obviously, this is, if you're watching this in the video, this is being captured in the live stream, which is the match build-up show. Watch it. You should have your notifications turned on. If you don't have them turned on, you're missing out on some great stuff here, ladies and gents. But Mr. Rosso, Mr. Page, Deadwood.
There's about 6 players I can name off the top of my head straight away.
There's a lot in this team, yeah. But we've got to really focus on it and look at the points. And we were just briefly speaking beforehand about Jada Silva, Emerson as options for the future, and how Marcos Alonso is. He goes at crawling pace. People are saying walking, but I prefer crawling or sliding on his belly.
I'm pretty sure my newborn
can
move quicker than he could.
Huh?
So I'm pretty sure my newborn can move quicker than he could.
Oh yeah, Scott's a dad if you didn't know. Round of applause, Scott. Abro, give him a clap. Big up Scott Page. Big up little Cody. Have some of that. Can I be the godfather?
No, you can't, unfortunately.
Okay, that's okay. All right, fine. But yeah, the nature of the beast.
Yes.
The players we need to get rid of.
Don't. This infuriates me so much.
Can we just go from player to player, please?
Can we start with Willian?
No, I want to start at the back. Then we can go to Willian. You got to do it not chronologically. Look, you know what? I can't even speak. He's chronologically.
He's getting in order.
He's in order. But I brought the comments. So goalkeepers. I think we don't need to talk about that.
Caballero maybe could leave, but he's a good backup.
I think he's a great backup.
The only reason I say that is because Bolka could be given a bit more time, but
yeah.
Lewis
has joined the chat. Scott, congrats on your successful transfer.
Thank you.
Cody coming from the womb to real world for a fee of I don't know. It's going to
Lewis, aren't you supposed to be ill?
Yeah, Lewis. What are you doing here?
Louis, tell them we need super chat to support Scott's baby.
Yeah, that's it. We do need super chat to support Scott's baby because we need to pay for nappies and all that stuff and. Yeah, and basically also needs to pay for Scott's car because he decided to crash it.
Shut up.
Now, well, it's your fault. You shouldn't have done it. But look, let's go into it. Back line. I'm just going to rattle these off now, and we're still going to agree. We could just move on. Alonso.
Yes.
Cahill's going to be leaving at the end of the season anyway. He's not Deadwood, but he's going to be. Zappacosta's going to go.
Moses when he comes back.
Moses when he comes back.
Luckily, he's doing quite well at Fenerbahce, so they might buy him. So
moving into midfield, Marco van Ginkel, who's still in our squad.
I'd try him because it's an option.
He was good that season before he did his ACL, but after that, that's it.
He's not the player. Well, it's very similar to a lot of players that have long-term injuries. They come back a shadow of what they used to be. Kurt Zuma is a very good example of that. I thought Kurt Zuma was really making steps. And then would
you sell him?
United.
United.
I was watching that in the pensioner, and you heard the knee. You heard it. Oh,
and he's
just, my dodgy knees are feeling it right now.
He's a good player now, but he's just a shadow of what he used to be.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think he's a player that will definitely be on the way out.
Yeah, drink water.
But Danny drink water. But whenever he drinks water, we love it. No. Oh, daddy! No, okay, maybe not.
Never say that again.
Okay, so we can't just have him for drink. What about all those brand deals? Smart Water, Evian. Please sponsor us. I'm not like Joe Weller. I'm not gonna bang on about Buxton Water, but I do like myself an Evian, so it's funny. Danny drink water. Who else?
There's someone else in midfield.
Shall I just get the squad list?
Yeah, because I'm forgetting who else.
There's so many shit players. There's just too much to worry about. Mate. Who else? I think.
Bakayoko when he comes back, but Milan might buy him.
To be fair, he's playing quite well.
Don't even suggest. If I see that man in a blue shirt,
the things you'll do.
The things. Oh, hello. Who else we got?
Barkley can go away.
No, come on.
I'd get rid of Ross Barkley.
Come on.
He's living off of that Manchester United goal. I'm sorry, Ross Barkley.
There are better options we have on loan.
It was a low risk transfer, which made sense. However, he doesn't deliver on a consistent basis.
That's a great shout, Matt Miazga.
When he comes back.
People make this point about Pulisic being a marketing deal for the Americas. We already had that. And we've sent him out on loan like 3-4 times already.
Yeah, but Matt Miazga...
I know he's on the same level.
I like Matt
Pulisic.
But Matt Miazga did exactly that to a short Mexican in a football game, and I like Matt Miazga for that because it's proper shithousery. It's brilliant. I think it was... who was the one that played for PSV? Guardado, I think. Something like that. Yeah. He goes up to... He's walking up to his... He's going, you midget. What are you doing? Stop scrolling up to me. And I'm there going, oh, mate, I love this guy.
Jordan's piping up again. Hi, Jordan.
Oh, no, but I think...
about Bakayoko.
I don't think we should take him out. I think he doesn't fit the system, and I think I just take what we can for him. But I mean, we'll focus on the players in the actual squad. I'm now looking at now we look at the front line.
This is what.
And Giroud.
No! Do not say no.
We'll come to Giroud. Let's have a look at the wingers.
Willian, Pedro.
Absolutely.
How much were we offered for Willian last summer?
60 million.
And how old is he?
30.
Can I make it? It's even worse than that. In the January window, Barcelona wanted him again. I think 50 million was put out. PSG wanted him, and we said no because they want to replace him for Neymar.
They want to replace him with Neymar
because of the injury.
Oh yeah.
I just find this. Chelsea have a policy of players over 30 who are out of contract. They put on a 1-year contract, and every year they'll see how they get on. That is our new policy. I do not understand why. If that sort of money comes in, which is a considerable amount of money, why we haven't said thank you very much?
Well, the 50 million deal for Willian was some cash plus Malcolm.
Yeah.
21-year-old winger who's supposed to be the next big thing, who's now proceeded to go on and perform.
I then believe
for Barcelona.
2 points about that. I then believe that in a couple of weeks after that, he scored the winning goal in a game against a big team. I want to say Athletic Madrid. I could be wrong. Could be completely wrong, but I remember it was a game.
It was a big game.
Also, he's now taken over Coutinho's spot in that Barcelona team.
Yeah. Just don't remind me. Let's move on to the loanees quickly and make the call.
Oh, this is going to take a while.
We're only going to pick a few. I'm just going to rattle them off, yes or no, for in or out. Bubba Rahman.
Out. No, out.
Jake Clark-Salter.
Out because he's never going to play.
Yeah. Michael Hector, out.
Yeah, I'm out. Get rid of him.
Thomas Callas, out.
Out.
Todd Kane, unfortunately,
out.
He is a supporter of the channel as well. Todd Kane. Yeah, Todd Kane was there day one with Eunice.
Actually, no, I'm going to say in because it's a right back.
Yeah, I think
and it
so.
allows for that. It allows for Reece James then go out on loan for a year at a Premier League club, which I think he needs. So I'm going to say in.
Matt Miasper, I'm just saying in because it's a midget comment. Kurt Zuma in. Kenneth Amiru out.
Could just a bit on that Kurt Zuma thing. Do you think he would even get a look in at the moment?
Yes.
And it depends on certain
Really?
things.
It'd be either him or Rudiger, I think. But the thing is, him and Rudiger are pretty much the same player.
Yes.
Oh, come on. Really?
I'd say, well, no, not exactly the same, but the
Similar,
aspects,
yeah.
the similar games.
Okay.
Big Ken will say out. Mr. Chalobah, Trevor. Big up Moraine as well for the tracks.
Fortunately, I'm going to say out because he wouldn't get a look in. It's similar to Clark Sauer.
Yeah.
Dujon Sterling is someone I'd love to say.
Loan out again.
I'd loan him out to a Premier League club. He's good enough.
Where's
Reece James, loan out to a Premier League club. Jada Silva in. I think he should be here.
100%.
He should be the second name.
Here's our right back option. We've literally bought one from Torino and sent one back on loan. Ola Aina.
Kane can go and keep it.
Ola Aina. I think he's definitely someone who should.
He was
be
playing
considered.
as well last year.
Exactly.
And looked not solid, but he looked comfortable.
Yeah.
A name which has been cropping up on YouTube comments quite a lot. Mr. Mount.
Ooh,
Currently playing against.
No, I'm just going to put it out there.
Currently playing for Derby this afternoon against Brighton. And do you know who scored for Derby?
Oh, yes.
None other than Chelsea's former left back.
Oh, Ashley Cole.
Big Ash.
There's a name I've seen there you might get to. I'm just going to put it out now. Musonda's no.
No, Musonda can go back. We need to go chronologically. Stop making this difficult for me, okay? I am the host. You are the guest. Sit down. Shut up. Sorry. I love you. Fikayo Tomori, out. I don't think he's ever going to play.
Yeah.
Dabo,
Who?
out. You never heard of Dabo? He's one of
Dabo, yeah.
Out. Josh Grant, didn't even know he was out on loan.
He'll probably get sent on loan again.
Oh my god, this scrolling's taken a lot of time. Lewis Baker, unfortunately, out. And Gaban, out. Kennedy, out. Nathan, who's never going to play for us, never has, out. Quintero, out.
Actually, you go on loan
Pantic,
probably.
out. I want Pasalic back at Chelsea. I think
he could work because he's played in Serie A quite a bit. I think this is 2 or 3 years he's played in Serie A, and so he could understand the system quite well.
Yeah, Jacob Maddox will never play for us. Casey Palmer out. Mason Mount in.
He's the first one that should be
Mason
straight
Mount
back in.
Needs to come back next season, regardless of how Derby do this year. If they manage to make the playoffs or automatic promotion, playoffs are looking more likely. Yeah. He needs to be playing for
I say the two that should be definite coming back are De Silva and Mount. No questions asked. It should be those two, and then you can look at other people and go, maybe not, but those two straight away.
Okay, I think we kind of got the option with midfield. You got Musonda, we've already gone through. Bakayoko, we've gone through. And Kylian Hazard, I don't think we can really talk about him yet.
Apparently he's meant to be the best of the three.
Yeah, so we'll have to see. Pulisic, because obviously Michy Batshuayi, I want back. I think is an option. I think he's a great option. And as a tapping merchant, have you seen all the balls that are going across the floor?
Yeah.
Tapping merchant's a bit harsh. We love Michy.
What about Tammy?
I want to see him on loan at a Premier League club, mid-table, comfortable, because he didn't do it with Swansea. It's all well and good. There's those players that can't make the step up from Championship to Premier League. There are some which are absolutely amazing.
He's playing well in the Championship.
This is my argument.
Yeah, but he played well in the Championship for Bristol.
This is my argument: the fact that Teemu Pukki is on the same goals or 1 goal behind him, and he didn't do it at Schalke and didn't do it at Celtic. So that's my point: is that you can do it at the Championship all you want. Yeah. The next step up's a whole different beast.
Yeah, but I mean, we'll no, it's the nature of the beast. That's the line, mate. Don't steal it. Don't ruin it.
Oh, you've already got people in the comments saying.
Shall I get it on a T-shirt? If this gets 100 likes or more, actually that's too easy. If this video gets 300 likes, I'll put it on a T-shirt.
Oh, that's a good question I've just seen from Jordan. Would you take Lukaku back?
Yeah, well, someone have been talking. We'll talk about that later. This. Don't worry, I've got it all in my head.
I'm just saying.
I've got the running order. Don't worry. But yeah. Anyway, thank you very much, Abro.
I've just seen a comment. Have you seen that?
I'm hitting a whistle. Sorry.
But yeah, the Tammy Abraham comment.
Hold on. You're making me go off topic. We got super chats to get through, gentlemen.
Let's go.
But next one.
I'm keeping that in my head.
Comes in from Isaac Bridge. Oh no, we've done that one. Joel Nelson Doe. Do you guys think if Hazard left, that it would be an overall positive effect on the team? Can you capture this, please, Abril? Thank you. You good? So, we've just been sent this question, obviously, from Joel Neeson Doe. Do you guys think if Hazard left, it would have an overall positive effect on the team?
Right. I'll let you go first with this.
Eden Hazard. If I were Eden Hazard, I'd leave tomorrow, Chelsea.
Yep.
I'll tell you the reason why. Chelsea at this current stage is in a time of rebuilding. We're just about to start a new stadium. We've just got a new manager. It's going to take a considerable amount of time. How old's the man? 27?
Something like that. Late 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got, 5 years maximum of his optimum.
That's pushing it, maybe.
And that's pushing it. The next thing for him to go on to win is the Champions League. And I genuinely do not believe that this current Chelsea climate surrounding Stamford Bridge is going to be in a position where we can actively push for Champions League success on a yearly basis. We have got a considerable amount of building to do. Currently, the squad is just not strong enough. Take Eden Hazard out. I think Paul Merson quite accurately described Chelsea as being a pretty shoddy team if you remove Eden Hazard. And I think the last 4 weeks have really shown that actually, if he's not firing on all cylinders,
we're mediocre at best.
We are mediocre at best. We got beat by Bournemouth. And I won't even talk about the City result. When that world record bid comes in, Chelsea have to accept it. Yeah. Chelsea, I know that we all love them as Chelsea Football Club, but they are a business. So they've just got to say, yep, look, thank you very much. You've been with us, 7-8 years. Go to Real Madrid, go to Spain, go to France, wherever. And if I were Eden Hazard, London's amazing, but you need to go and actually see. I need to be selfish. I need to see what's going to be the best move for me as a club, as a professional.
Yeah.
And I think actually, as a footballer, you need to be winning trophies. And I genuinely believe that Real Madrid, or somewhere in Spain or France, will be getting those trophies.
Can't disagree.
I
can't disagree.
From a Chelsea standpoint, I think that there are aspects which will become positive. For example, the focus will be taken off of Hazard, put the whole team, so hopefully more of the team can shine.
Yeah, I agree.
My only worry, and I've talked about this a bit, is that and this comes down to problems we talked about with the board, I don't trust our board to put the money. We'll do what Tottenham did. We'll spend it on with Bale. That we'll spend it, or actually no, Liverpool will end up spending that money quite well. We'll just spend it on random people that aren't worth the money we pay for them, and it's going to come back to bite us in the arse. That's like what I can see.
But that's where a director of football really comes in handy.
Mr.
Michael Ballack.
Mr. Michael, I know you watch this. Can you please sort that out, please, Mr. Ballack? Thank you. Cheers. Love you, Mike.
But I can see the positives that it will bring.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's a lot of positives in having a director of football, i.e. we actually have someone who knows what they're talking about when it comes to football. I think Marina's great for the brand deals, great for sort of the business, but unfortunately she cannot get a player to save a life. If you're going to have a manager who's going to be in the head coach role, you need someone who's going to be some person who can relay information to the board.
But that is
hindsight is a beautiful thing.
It is, but that's where so many Chelsea managers have come at odds with the board, because they are a head coach, they're not a manager, and it's, if you look at it from name me another club that has this system.
There are a few in Europe, but I spoke this about the other day, where their club is run in a totally different way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's barbaric. How can you expect manager to be playing? Yes, he can put his opinions in, but it's the fact that it's a board member who's in charge of signings.
Well, this is it, and I think it's because if they're going, we want Sarri in to implement a philosophy. If he's implementing a philosophy, he should be getting the players he wants and he needs. Yes, he's got Jorginho. Yes, he's got Higuain. Both very short-term options. Higuain's 31. Jorginho's in his peak, allegedly.
Also, this point that I brought up earlier, if he gets sacked, I can see Jorginho being dropped, and he'll be another Morata almost, where it's just massive money wasted. Because I can see Kovacic, at least for this season, Kovacic is the better option for me. I know that's a point we're bringing up later on.
Would you sign him permanently?
Depends on the money. It all depends on the money. If for about 30 million, because in this market that's not a lot, then I'd sign him. If it's pushing towards that 50, what we bought for Jorginho, probably not.
I'd pay that. But it's a case of he'd have to be Jorginho.
Yeah, it all depends on who the manager is. If it's a different manager, then I'd say maybe, because I feel like Kovacic would play regularly. If it's Sarri going forward next season, then I'd say no, because he's just going to be a backup option, and it's pretty much a waste of time.
I agree. But anyway, thank you very much, Abro. Cool. Right, and last bit we need to talk about before we wrap up today, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk a little bit about the game. Obviously, we are playing on Monday night. Yep. Manchester United. Huge.
I think Lawrence defined it quite well. It could be a make or break game for Sarri regarding not just the season but career.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I think that's a fair reflection.
I think it's going to be a very, very interesting game, and that's saying the least. We are going to be... realistically, at the end of this month, we could have lost the Carabao Cup final, be out of the FA Cup, and out of top 4 comfortably, and potentially out of Europe. Touch wood, that won't happen. Obviously, it shouldn't. No. But it is defining. I think it's a case. I like we've already said about Sarri. He's here to implement the philosophy. If he's not getting results at the same time, like I said, it could be square peg and round hole. Adapt or die. Nature of the beast. Again, it is. If
I had £1 for every time I've heard you say that in the last 2 weeks, I'd have about £12.
I like it. I like the term nature of the beast. It's up there with Roy now. It's one of the two.
God's sake.
Roy. I think that no one's heard that for a while. I really think that this could be it. If he doesn't sort himself out, that is it. Game over. It is, and I'm sorry. It's a case of people telling me to shut up. You shut up. If you don't like it, click off. I'm saying it could be game over. I'm not saying it is going to be game over.
Yeah.
I just don't know what to think of this. Man United fans are saying we're in the driving seat with this because they have a poor record. They've got no Martial. They've got no Lingard. Chances are it's Lukaku playing up front with Sanchez.
Excuse Mata playing on the right.
Mata playing on the right.
I think it really depends, mate, on what Chelsea turn up. Because we've seen...
I'd say for me it's the midfield three. That's what's going to define it. It all depends on who we play and who United play.
It really does. I'm not too sure what's going to happen. But I mean, let's go into this. Abril, can you capture this, please? Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your predicted lineup. Chelsea versus Manchester United in the FA Cup. Lads, like we've already said, make or break this game potentially.
I've accidentally just clicked onto what I thought would be last week's lineup. However, it was from I don't know how many years ago. Chelsea 6, Man City 0, and the team
4-4-2. Jesus.
Frank Lampard, SCN, Cech, Drogba, Cole, Belletti, Carvalho, Kalou, Alex Mikel, and Paulo Ferreira. What I think we'd all do to have 3 of those names in this Chelsea side.
I actually felt I'd have most of those names in this Chelsea side. That's embarrassing.
Look, let's just get into it. Let's get into this lineup.
Trying to predict this is honestly like trying to do brain surgery after the lineup of Malmo.
Well, I think the back five's pretty self-explanatory.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't think he'll...
Marcus Alonso's going to be playing at left back, gents. Woo!
Wait, is it standard just with Alonso at left back? Emerson?
That is standard. Marcus Alonso playing at left back.
That's fair. Actually,
come on, let's face it. I think it'll be Kepa.
Yep.
It'll be Rodney.
It's brilliant.
Right, what are we going to go? Rodney or Keith?
Keith, because Kepa and Keith sounds better.
Keith.
Yeah,
right, okay. So Keith in goal.
Yeah.
Mark at left back.
Yeah.
You got Dave and Tony as your 2 centre halves.
Yeah.
Another Dave as right back.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know what the hell I'm talking about, that'll be Kepa in goal, Marcus Alonso at left back,
David Luiz,
Rudiger, and Azpilicueta at right back.
Yeah.
Midfield 3. I don't want Jorginho in that midfield because Pogba's playing as well. You're talking athleticism. It'll be. Do you know what it'll be Matic, Herrera, and Pogba, probably.
Pogba's not suspended. No, that's Champions League.
We're gonna die.
I'm having just like not flashbacks. Like what's the opposite when you look in the future? I can just see Pogba running rings around Jorginho and he falls on his arse. Oh no!
I genuinely think I've got some sort of PTSD after last Sunday.
Can I just say my midfield is going to be Kovacic,
Kante
and Ruben Loftus-Cheek if he's fit.
Yes.
That's my midfield.
That's what I do. But what I predict
I was going to say,
is that he'll go with Jorginho,
Kante Bartley.
Oh, Jorginho, the man who starts all the attacks with short passes. Oh, God, I sound like Ian then. Even though Ian disagrees, agrees with the thing we're saying about Jorginho.
Love you, Ian.
And then it's who was the last one to come off out of Pedro and Willian?
When against Malmo.
Yeah.
Pedro came off.
It'll be Willian, Hazard, Higuain.
Okay, Willian, yeah.
And Hudson-Odoi on the bench to come on after about 6 minutes.
Hudson-Odoi won't even make the bench.
Oh no, Pedro won't.
Hold on. Zola said in this press conference yesterday that Loftus-Cheek will be going for a fitness test on Monday, and if he passes, there's a likelihood he will be heavily involved.
I suggesting he'll come off the bench for 10 minutes. Sweet. Okay.
70 minutes.
I don't think he will. I disagree. I think he'll start.
I think he'll start. Right. Can we listen? So what? Let's go through this. What is our predicted midfield? What are we picking?
Are we picking what we actually think is going to be?
No, we're not. Yeah, what we actually think is going to be. We can't pick what we want because it's not going to be that.
Jorginho in the middle, of course.
Yeah,
that's
Abs knows.
I say
Jorginho in the middle.
Higuain, Hazard, and Jorginho are the certainties. It's everyone else that's the kind of a maybe.
I'm going to say Loftus-Cheek, Jorginho, Kante.
Loftus-Cheek.
I don't mind that.
Loftus-Cheek, Jorginho, Kante.
Yeah, it's okay, huh?
I'm going to be the pessimist. I'm going to be the pessimist and say Barkley, Kante, Jorginho.
God, that's my job.
Isn't that what started last week?
Yeah.
It's also what started against Malmo. It doesn't mean anything.
I do not think he can start that. If we get beat with the same three, that seriously raises question.
I mean, logic dictates that, but it's not logical anything. Like the past week hasn't really been all that logical, has it?
No, but Sarri's not stupid, and he will be able to see that people are calling for him to change it up. And I think actually he's just been beat 6-0 against City. He's now going up against a United side. If he plays with the same midfield three and we get our arses handed to us, he is in some serious dog shite.
I'd play two. We've had this conversation like 5 million times, but I mean, there's no point.
What, and one in front?
Yeah, so you play either Barkley or
Loftus-Cheek at 10.
Yeah.
Or can we sign Juan Mata on a pre-contract agreement, please?
I've said this for the last few weeks. Oh, how much it would be to just...
Can you look at little Juan come back? Little Juan. I was really sad. He's the last Chelsea player I can say he was my favourite player. But
I agree.
I
The biggest thing why I hate Mourinho, I respect everything he's done, but the fact that he got rid of Mata, that's the one thing I hate him for.
Oh, that's it. It's summarised in that. I think.
Imagine saying Oscar is a better than Mata.
Oh, mate. No, but some people will say that. I don't understand where the logic is, but Celavi, I can't even say anything. Look, excuse me, sorry. I personally would love Mata back at number 10. I think he'd be a great little player, and I'm not going to lie, I was 14 when we sold him. I sent him a massive message on his Facebook page, which he read and didn't respond to.
Oh.
Really, Juan? Really? Fine. Okay, cool. But look, we're going to go on midfield. Jorginho, Kante. Are you saying Barkley off the cheek?
I'm being the pessimist of the group. I'm going to say Barkley.
Barkley off the cheek. What's it going to be?
My heart wants it to be Loftus-Cheek. However, my head predicts Barkley.
Should we go with our heads?
Yeah.
This one. That's our midfield.
And then the front three is self-explanatory, isn't it? Relatively.
No. Hudson-Odoi to start.
Head or heart saying that.
If Hudson-Odoi...
Do you want to hop in on this, Abs? Come on, leave it on the wide and come in.
If Hudson-Odoi gets more than 15 minutes, I'll be amazed.
I wouldn't be surprised if he did start though. And I'll tell you the reason why. He only played 6 minutes against Malmo. If he starts against United in a season-defining game for Chelsea and for Sarri, and Hudson-Odoi's played, Chelsea fans have got nothing to argue.
This is it.
And so I think he would be...
Also, side question. It's an FA Cup. Shouldn't he technically start? Because we use our other players for the cup games.
Yeah.
Yes, but Zola said this morning that we'll be likely playing a strong team.
Oh, dickhead.
Hey, come on, Abroad. None of that. All right, don't be rude. Sorry, ladies and gents. He's calling Zola a dickhead. I'm going to have to address that problem. All right, off camera. He will be disciplined. That makes me sound like Christian Grey. He sounds like Ann Summers is in the building.
And he will be paying for lunch.
No, he won't be. He'll kill me. Admiral scares me too much.
Talking lunch.
But our front three, talking of lunch. God, that's a very Scott Page comment. It says the fat man.
I was about to say.
I'm sorry.
Hot kettle.
Sorry. I eat the healthiest out of everyone in this room, probably. I eat salads when we go out. He doesn't eat salads. He eats bloody like steak and chips, and it's not fair. I've been eating salads. I've been eating better recently. It's just the portion sizes that I don't get big fuck off salads. I do like big salads though. I love a good tomato. I do. A bit of tomato, a bit of salt, a bit of balsamic vinegar. Oh,
Christ
mate,
almighty.
you're sorted. But I weigh, I don't know, 125 kilograms. I don't know if I weigh that, but I think isn't that actually a good weight? 125? Is it?
I'm 83.
Okay, so maybe not. Maybe if I was a heavyweight boxer, it'd be okay. I am a heavyweight boxer. Look at this bad boy. I call him Gerald. When we play football, he turns into Geraldinho.
And then it just sits in front of the goal for 2 hours.
Oh yeah, yeah, brilliant. But I think it's kind of a case of our front three. You haven't even got onto that yet.
Higuain, Hazard guaranteed, and then it's one of Willian or Pedro for me. I want to be positive, but nothing from this past 2 weeks has shown me that Hudson-Odoi is going to play.
Right, should we rock, paper, scissors it? Pedro or Willian?
I'll start William.
It will be Willian because he played less.
Don't leave me hanging. Rock, paper, scissors it. Okay. Wait, hold on. We're doing 1, 2, 3, shoot, or we're doing
1, 2, 3, shoot.
Rock, paper, scissors. Wait, what?
1, 2, 3, go.
Okay. Rock, paper, scissors, go. Rock, paper, scissors,
Save
go.
me.
Okay.
There you go.
What did you say? What did you say?
Save me.
Save me.
Oh, save you. I thought it was just someone else then.
No.
Don't mention that name. None of
No,
that.
no,
None of that. None of that. All right? Come on. We respect the fans here, ladies and gentlemen. All right? We care about every single one, abroad or in the stadium.
And we also include the likes and dislikes.
And our comment section is not disabled, which is a nice bonus.
And we respect all fans.
I've already said that.
Oh,
right?
okay, I missed that.
Come on.
That's actually important.
It is important. It is
very
important. It is important. But anyway, we'll go through our lineup one more time and then we'll hit that topic. But if you're watching this on the video, make sure you watch back the live stream. That way you know what we're talking about. Hit the 50-minute mark, and that's probably when you can talk. We can figure it out.
Yep.
So our lineup is Keith,
Yep.
Mark, Tony, Dave.
Yep.
George.
Yep.
Ingolo.
Yep.
He came from overseas, you see. And then you got Ross playing in the other central field spot, and you got Edin, and you got Willie, and you got Big George up front.
That's Gonzalo Higuain, I'm right.
Fat George, yeah.
Fat George. And that large. That's
He's not either. Although he has got a little bit
nothing
of
on
Lukaku.
Lukaku.
But I respect. Listen, a great touch for a big lad, a big man up top. I have someone that feels that represents me in that Chelsea team now. So, yeah, still got that goal scoring record from my school, age 13. Quickest hat trick in the school's history. Just saying. Only time that ever happened. Cheers, lads. But anyway, thank you very much for watching that lineup thing. Obviously, make sure to subscribe, like, all that good stuff. Abril, thank you very much. That's it. That is it in terms of the lineup. Last touch on point. We've done the lineup.
Yes.
We're predicting the game was right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Am I going to push you for a score prediction?
3-0.
It's
the dead look. 3-0.
Shall I tell you what? I don't care about this. I'm not going to do a score prediction. All I hope is that we don't have to take it to a replay. Because it would be scheduled for 2 weeks' time, Tuesday or Wednesday. Probably be the Wednesday night.
That would just after we play Spurs as well. Oh no.
It'll be the week after.
Oh no.
And the last thing any of us really want to do is because it would go.
Again.
The last thing you want to do is go back up to Manchester. I've been there 3 or 4 times, and every single time I've gone up there, we've lost.
I've never seen us win in Manchester.
Neither.
Ever.
We're not.
Yeah. Yay! Happiness!
People are saying no replays.
Is there no replay in this round?
Straight
swear
depends.
Lawrence?
No. Wait,
I thought that was the round before.
Hold on. No. I swear there's no replays in the League Cup. There's replays in the FA Cup.
I swear it's replays until the quarterfinals. I want to say,
right,
or
Lawrence,
the semis.
If you're watching, I know you're watching. Can you please message me?
Yeah, let us know. Okay. Well, if it's penalties, whatever it is, I don't know. I'm scared. Let's see what happens.
If it's penalties, we're going to win again.
If it's extra time, I'm not even convinced. Oh mate, imagine if Pogba does that run up and misses the penalty,
and then Jorginho does it straight after and scores.
oh dear. But we'll have to see. But I think I think that's it. I think we're done.
I do apologise. There's been a rule change.
Oh, there's no replay.
5th round. So last year it was only the 6th round where the rule change got implemented. it's now been changed to the 5th round replays have been scrapped.
So what was that? That's
So it was originally going to go from next season. However, it's now to this season, I believe.
Nice. So we won't have to have a replay.
Huh.
Yeah, because of the Europa Leagues.
Okay, then that's
Champions
fine.
League.
Anything else you lads want to touch on before we wrap up?
Yeah, there was one point. This debate, which is taken over Chelsea Twitter.
Is it what I think it is about Romelu Lukaku?
No.
What was it? Oh, that debate.
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to capture it?
No, I don't think it needs a capture.
No, let's not capture it. People know plenty enough about it. We've captured lots today. There's going to be lots of content over the next 2-3 days.
Yeah.
Nice. Go on. What do you want to touch on?
This is regarding a certain number of people's comments about that match-going fans' views and opinions outweigh those who watch the games at home. Now, the three of us, along with the rest of people on the channel, we're very blessed in the fact that we go to pretty much all the Chelsea games. We travel up and down the country, and it is a large toll. However, I think a lot of people need to remember that actually not everybody have the opportunity or the means to go to every single Chelsea game. A lot of people just go to a few games every season. So we're lucky in terms of that we can do that. I think that the argument that match-going fans' opinion is more valid. I don't think that's correct. I think there needs to be a level of respect for match-going fans, because I agree, we get up at ridiculous hours. You were up 6:30 last week.
As we reminded of.
Thank you to the Irish lad on HITC Sport for reminding us that I'd be fucked if I was a postman.
Yeah, and I travelled all the way up from Southampton to Manchester, and I got back at about 3 o'clock on the next morning, on Monday morning. So yeah, I think there needs to be a level of respect, saying actually fair enough, this we do, but I don't agree with the argument that match-going fans our opinions are more valid than somebody who may live in the other side of the world.
I think it's safe to say, I think the biggest thing is, especially with what we're doing right now, we would not be sat in this room with microphones having this conversation with the hundreds of people that are in this chat. Regardless where you're from, we would not be here. It is as simple as that, and we have a lot to be grateful for.
Yeah.
Going to the games is fantastic. I think I had this debate with a friend when I was about 14. I remember saying, I think that it was a different one, but it was which you get better analysis from being at the game or watching it on TV.
Watching it on TV.
It depends on where you're sat.
That's my argument for always sitting in the East Stand. So the East Stand, for you guys who don't know, is the stand where the tunnel is. And I always say, if you're in the East Stand upper, and you're on the halfway line, you always get the best view.
Nini sits in the East Stand upper.
Because you get a better analysis of the game. A lot of match-going fans like to sit in Matthew Harding because it's got a bit more of an atmosphere. But that's not where you're going to get a great view. I will still be getting my season ticket down the Matthew Harding end, just because that's where I want to be sitting. But actually, the games that I do sit in the East Stand this year, you do get the best view. Yeah,
and I think, look, at the end of the day, look, everybody is important. Football is a global game. The Premier League is global. There is no doubt about that now. You can't say anything. There are people, to be honest, I have more respect for the people that get up at ridiculous hours in the morning to watch the game in a pub in another country than I do for myself when I get up early. Because I tried it when I went to Australia to watch the Spurs game when we lost 3. What was that season? Was it Dele Alli scored a couple of seasons ago when they ended our run?
Oh, 3-1.
The 3-1. It was 3-1, wasn't it?
No, it was 5-2.
That's it. It was 5-2.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, no, it was 3-1. Sorry, I was thinking 5-2 was a few years before.
Yeah, I could not do it. I physically could not pull myself out of bed. I fell back asleep. So for the people that do that, who get up to watch a FA Cup game or whatever, fair cop, because I couldn't do it when I was over in Australia.
When I was in Australia 2 Christmases ago, my Christmas, I had an amazing time out there, but the football for me, when you're at home, it's a huge part of our Christmas schedule.
We miss you, Chris and Shari. You're just saying that now.
Boxing Day is football, and it's completely different, and I've got a lot of respect for them. But then I've got so much respect and admiration for all the people who get up at ridiculous times, go to... There were 1,200 of us who went to Bournemouth midweek, and then got up the next morning to get the next set of tickets to go wherever we were going.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've got a lot of admiration for all people, but I don't think the argument's valid in terms of
I completely disagree with the whole situation.
Yeah.
As much as I have respect for that specific content creator, because Rory is, I'll say his name because he's a nice guy, and he's helped us out on many occasions. I have conversation with Rory, and and to give him the benefit of the doubt, look, he's just had a kid, and congratulations on that, by the way. And he's probably really tired, and I don't think the way that people are attacking him, look, I don't agree with it, despite the fact, of our previous relationships with other people on that channel.
Hey, Sammy.
So we miss you, Sammy.
Love you, Sammy.
No, but look, it's a case of I personally, look, as much as I may not get on with people, I'm not going to ever be the guy that's going to do that, because abuse isn't fair on anybody. Yeah, look, at the end of the day, it's not fair to criticise people that can't go to matches because they can't. A lot of people make up the fan bases of these YouTube channels. As I've already said, I would not exist. Scott wouldn't exist. Don wouldn't exist. This whole concept of this studio would not exist if it wasn't for people that watched YouTube football content. And it's an amazing thing. And as much as many people may not like it because of fan counts, vloggers, whatever, the fact that we're able to give people an experience who aren't at the game, the experience of being there, then I appreciate every last person who watched this channel, and we'd be nothing without you guys.
And the large number of our views do come from, I think we only have something like 40% of our views come from the UK.
Yeah.
Looking at the data, so many international fans, and we hope to give the experience.
As a mate 23 says, I'm currently watching you guys, and it's 1:46 in the morning. Wow.
The grind is real.
Fair cop. But anyway, I think that's it for us, isn't it? I think we'll wrap up there.
I believe so.
Okay, we have been going for an hour, so we'll wrap up there. But guys, listen, if you've enjoyed this match day build-up show, please obviously make sure you like and subscribe to the channel to see more of it. Obviously, my one. Make sure you check out UFF as well. So thank you for these guys for letting us use the studio. It's a massive help. We might not be here; it might be in and out. If we're not here, we're going to figure something out. We're gonna work through this because obviously we've got a lot of big games coming up at the minute, and we need to do watch-alongs. We want to do that kind of stuff. So, like I said, we are going through a rebrand. We are trying to change stuff up because we want to make the content better for you, and obviously we just want to be better in general. Obviously like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and comment. All our social media links are down in the description below for Scott, for Dom, and obviously for myself. Make sure you subscribe. Thank you for watching, and wherever you are around the world, take care. Good night, good morning, God bless. Ta-ra.